Hello again. In the 1960s, former British Prime Minister Harold Wilson famously remarked that a week was a long time in politics. A year is, of course, an eternity in politics, and it's no surprise that we've now completely forgotten the terms of the deal which this country struck with Rwanda last April. Every time there is any debate about those who have crossed the channel illegally to try and claim asylum here, some government spokesman will jump up and say that once the Rwanda deal gets going, then this will discourage immigration and reduce the overall number of immigrants, as we fly some of those people to Rwanda. Here is a question for viewers. Let us suppose that all the obstacles to the Rwanda deal were removed, and Britain withdrew from the European Convention on Human Rights and so on, and all those left-wing human rights lawyers were somehow disposed of or rendered harmless and impotent. Let us further suppose that we start flying 1,000 illegal immigrants a week to Rwanda, and that we maintain this absolutely fantastic rate for a whole year. This would reduce the number of immigrants in Britain by 50,000 or so, right? 1,000 a week for a year? Yeah, 52,000. Gosh. This is essentially what we're being told, that once the Rwanda deal gets going, we will really see some action. In fact, even if this happened and could be achieved, we wouldn't see the number of immigrants in this country reduced by even a single person. This is because under the deal which we struck with Rwanda, we agree that for every asylum seeker we manage to unload on them, we will take one of their refugees off their hands and bring him or her back to Britain. It is strictly a case of one in and one out. In the description to this video, I give a link to a copy of our agreement with Rwanda, which is entitled the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and the Government of the Republic of Rwanda for the provision of an asylum partnership arrangement. Sounds impressive, no? Click on that link and then scroll down and look at section 16 of the memorandum. It reads as follows. Resettlement of vulnerable refugees. The participants will make arrangements for the United Kingdom to resettle a portion of Rwanda's most vulnerable refugees in the United Kingdom. Whoops, don't tell me that viewers have forgotten this bit, or perhaps they never actually read it. The Rwanda deal is about us taking refugees from Rwanda and flying them to this country so they can come and live here. You didn't know that? Rwanda currently hosts almost 130,000 refugees, mostly from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and they are desperately keen to get rid of them. The most vulnerable of those people, the ones mentioned in that Memorandum of Understanding, are crippled, missing limbs and so on, for various reasons relating to warfare. Many are children with complex needs and learning difficulties. They are a burden on Rwanda, and they would be a burden here as well. What the deal with Rwanda actually amounts to, and I don't ask anybody to take my word for it, but to read it on the government's own website, is that if everything went swimmingly and we started running regular flights of deported illegal immigrants and failed asylum seekers to Rwanda, then those planes would land able-bodied young men and in return pick up in Rwanda and bring back to this country all kinds of vulnerable refugees who would need long-term care and a huge amount of medical and social care. A good bargain, do you think? The more failed asylum seekers we flew to Rwanda, the more disabled Africans we would bring back in return. One in and one out. That's why I say that no matter how many people we flew to Rwanda, the total number of immigrants in Britain would not go down by a single person. I know that I've talked about this business before, but I thought it worth mentioning just in case folk have forgotten about the fine print of that deal. Whenever you hear mention of Rwanda, and the government is still talking about what will happen if only they didn't have all those human rights lawyers holding them back, always remember that the plan is simply to exchange one lot of undesirable foreigners for another. It has nothing at all to do with reducing the number of immigrants in this country. It never did have that as its aim. You have all been woefully misled. By the by, you might ask yourselves why no newspapers mention this, and why you will not hear about it on the television news. There's no secret about what I've said here. It's simply that nobody wants to draw attention to it.